Hey fishing friend, my name is JC with Rad Reeling Fishing. In this video, I'm going to be going over all of my Ugly Stik rods. We're going to go in detail about the handles and the action. I'm going to do some weight tests with these rods. Let me tell you the rods that I have here. I've got the Carbon Inshore rod, I've got the Ugly Stik Elite, the Ugly Stik Inshore Select, the GX2, the Big Water, and the InterCoastal rod. So this is going to be good, guys. We're going to get to it right after this. All right guys, I'm going to start out with my newest Ugly Stik rod. This is my Inshore carbon rod or Carbon Inshore rod. This is a 7-foot long model. It's a medium heavy action, and this rod right here will hold up to 20-pound test mono or 40-pound test braid, and you can cast up to a 1.5 ounce lure with this. But just look at how thin and streamlined this rod is. Now, towards the end of the video, I'm actually going to hook all these rods up to like a 5 or a 7 pound weight, and I'm going to try and lift the weight and give you guys an idea of how much of what the bend looks like in these rods. But I've caught quite a few fish on this new rod, and I absolutely love it. Now guys, all of my Ugly Stiks here, they're all about the same. I use them in saltwater mostly. The Ugly Stik Elite I will use in freshwater, and also the Ugly Stik GX2, but I have them all paired up with like 4,000 size reels. This is a 3,500 size reel, fits this rod perfectly, and I'm actually a pin man. I love to use pin reels, so you're gonna see I got some pin battle reels and also some pin pursuits on these rods. But okay, so check out the handle. This has got the EVA foam handle on it, and it's got the longer handle. So some of my Ugly Stiks have the long handle on them, some of them have the shorter handles. What I find with the long handled rods is these work fine if you're like pitching, throwing live bait, and if you're bottom fishing or you're pitching live bait up around the mangroves and stuff. These longer handle rods are great. What I like about them is you get the extra support here on your rod or even underneath your arm like this whenever you're fighting a fish. And but there are certain applications, so depending on the type of fishing that you're going to be doing, the handle that you choose on your rod is going to be important. But this is one of Ugly Stik's super lightweight rods. It is a graphite rod, and I absolutely love it, guys. All right guys, this is also a new rod. I got this combination, amazing price on this pin battle, and the new Ugly Stik InterCoastal rod. I've caught a few fish on this. I've only fished with it a couple of times. This is a medium heavy 7-foot rod. It'll hold up to 20-pound test mono and up to 40-pound test braid, and also it will handle up to a 1.5 ounce lure. Now you notice this is a little bit fatter rod than what we had on the Carbon Inshore rod. The Carbon Inshore rod is designed to be super lightweight, but also very robust. This is made out of your traditional Ugly Stik composite. That one over there is like completely graphite. Awesome rod right here, you guys. But I can tell it's heavier than the Carbon Inshore rod, and the handle's different. You've got the cork handle on here, but this handle is shorter than the handle that I have over here on the Inshore carbon rod, and I'll show you that here. And line those reels up. You can see there that handle is about 2 inches shorter, and yeah. Like I said, we're going to be showing you some bend tests towards the end. You can get an idea of how these bend. But this rod right here, it's solid, man. I mean, it's got nice backbone to it, and yeah. All of these, I love Ugly Stiks. You can just bend the living bejeebies out of Ugly Stik rods. But all of these rods that I'm showing you guys, these are great for saltwater fishing, and they're good for handling fish up to like 20 pounds, 30 pounds out in open water, okay? You hook up with a 20-pound fish around a dock with a rod like this, you literally are gonna have your hands completely full. You have to have some real finesse techniques for fighting fish around structure if you're using these kind of like medium heavy, this type rods. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. One of the things I didn't mention about the Carbon Inshore and also the Ugly Stik InterCoastal is both of those rods are one pieces. So this next rod is my Ugly Stik GX2. I've caught more fish on this Ugly Stik GX2 than any other fishing rod that I own because I fish with it the most. But I want you to see the difference in the handle here also. Okay, this is the InterCoastal rod is the one that has the cork, and the GX2 is the one that has the EVA foam. And you can see there you've got about a 2-inch shorter rod. So why a shorter rod is important is whenever you're working lures, right? And like topwater lures, or you're working a miridine, and you have to keep that rod moving like that to keep that topwater action going on. This shorter rod, you can see how it'll just kind of go up above your arm without any problem. It's just a whole lot easier. It's a little bit lighter back here in this area to handle. So with a longer handled rod, when you're trying to work lures, what happens is it's going to hit you here, okay? Here, when you try and get it up over your arm, you really have to get it way up over, which bends the rod way down, and it's just more awkward. You're always going to hit yourself here. When you have a longer handled rod, if you're fighting a really big fish, you can really lock that down here, get it down here in your waist area, and that puts your reel up like right at the right height for reeling and fighting that fish. You can also do that with a shorter handled rod, but there are different applications for short handled rods and longer handled rods, so I might even make a video about that. So your shorter butt end like this is great for working topwater lures and stuff like that. And you can lock this rod underneath your arm here, and you can also lock it in on the side of your rod, on the side of your arm here if you need to when you're fighting a fish. But the Ugly Stik GX2, now this is a 2-piece rod. It is a medium, and it's a 6'6" rod, and it'll hold up to 15-pound test line. I'm not sure what the lure rating is, but I've actually thrown 1.5-ounce jigs with this rod. Now, I did a full review of this rod, the Ugly Stik GX2. I'll put a link in the description area. You guys can check out that full review on this rod, but I absolutely love the GX2, and it is a fish catching machine. I've caught 20-pound, 25, 30-pound snook out on the beach using that rod. So this next rod, you guys, this is my Ugly Stik Inshore Select rod. 100% graphite rod, and of all of my Ugly Stik rods that I ever owned, this one has broken the most, and I'm sure it's because it's graphite. My first experience was I kind of did somewhat of a high stick, lifting a snook out of the water, and the rod just snapped. I mean, really very easily snapped. I've also broken the tip on this rod twice. So what I've done now is I pretty much just retired it. I keep it around in case for some reason I decide I'm going to use it, but I have so many different rods. Then yeah, just because this one is, I've broken the tip twice, and I actually snapped one and had to get a replacement. But it's a 7-foot rod. It's a medium heavy power. It is a 1-piece rod, and a super lightweight. I mean, great. I mean, really, I caught some nice fish on it. It's just, I think maybe I'm just a little bit more rough with my gear than some people are. All right, guys, my next rod is my Ugly Stik Big Water, okay? This is a 7-foot medium heavy. It's a 1-piece rod. I caught 150, I estimate 150-pound Goliath grouper. It was an absolute giant. And some of you guys may not agree. I mean, even if it was an 80-pound grouper, it was quite the catch. It took me like over a half hour to reel that thing in. I'll put a link to that video in the description area if you haven't seen it. But yeah, this is an awesome fishing rod, you guys. I caught like a 48-inch redfish on it. I've caught some massive snook, 39. Actually caught my personal best that I've ever measured, a 42 or 41-inch snook on the bridge. I know I've caught snook bigger than that on the beach that I didn't measure because I just wanted to get them back in the water and release them. But anyway, this is a medium heavy, 7-foot. It'll hold up to 40-pound test line, and it'll actually throw up to a 4-ounce lure. This thing right here, I did a full review on this rod, and I'll put a link to the review on this rod in the description area as well. So I want to talk just a little bit about why I love Ugly Stik so much. Number one, they're reasonably priced. Number two is they're readily available at Walmart, right? You get a 3-month return policy at Walmart. So if you're out fishing 2 months after you buy the rod, you break it, take it back to Walmart and exchange it or get a refund, right? If you buy it online, you only get like a 1-month return time. And then after that, you have to deal directly with Ugly Stik. So the other thing, you guys, is I have had several Ugly Stiks replaced through the years. The handle on one of my Ugly Stik GX2s, the little foam thing right here in the front, this came loose one time, and I just sent pictures to Ugly Stik, showed them what was going on, and it cost me less than $10, and they shipped me a brand new Ugly Stik GX2. So it doesn't cost much to have one replaced when it breaks, okay? So you've got like I'm pretty sure a 7-year warranty on Ugly Stiks. Some of them may have individualized different warranties than that, but like my new Ugly Stik Carbon Inshore rod, I know this has a 7-year warranty on it. So yeah, great warranty, great price, readily available, and not to mention, you guys, they are really, really tough fishing rods. I have caught some monster fish on Ugly Stik rods, and yeah, being the budget fishing guy, yeah, I just own a lot of Ugly Stiks, and they get the job done. So let me get these things hooked up to this weight here and give you an idea of what the bend looks like in some of these rods. So this is our Ugly Stik carbon rod. Let's give you an idea of what the bend is going to look like in this. We've got about a 6 or 7 pound weight there. It's a 7-foot rod. It's graphite, and there you go. I'm putting a lot of pressure on that rod. That thing is really, really holding up. I'm actually lifting the 7-pound cooler off of the ground with this rod right now. So yeah, that's going to be able to handle some big fish, guys. All right, so this next rod's the Ugly Stik Elite. This is a great freshwater fishing rod, by the way. 7 foot also. This is a 1-piece rod. Just an amazing bend. I'm actually lifting the cooler up off the ground with this one too. That's what Ugly Stik rods are known for right there, guys. That is really quite the bend in that rod. All right, this is the new Ugly Stik InterCoastal rod. This is a 7-foot rod. Wow, super duper, super bendy, man. Pretty amazing. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Love my Ugly Stiks. I'm going to show you the big water rod next. I usually pair this up with a 6 or 7,500 size reel. It's used for catching fish in big water, right? Big fish. So yeah, this is an awesome rod. Let's give it the bend test here. You guys can see on this. Look at that. That thing is stout, guys. That is super stout right there. Yep. You see, you don't get quite the bend in this rod that you get in the other ones. But yeah, this is for fighting. That rod is for fighting big fish. And I have caught some big ones on it too. So I've got like 750 fishing videos in my library, right? And 90 to 95% of all of the fish caught on this channel were caught using Ugly Stik rods and Penn reels. I mean, you can put together an excellent combination for a reasonable price, guys, that will be super durable and catch the heck out of fish. So if you're not a subscriber, subscribe, upload videos all the time, and set your notifications. And everybody, get out there and go fishing, man. Life is fun. Live it. See ya. Subscribe, or I'll send this guy out to your next fishing adventure.